It was a calm summer afternoon in the village of Riverbend, where the sound of rustling leaves and the babbling creek filled the air. At the edge of the village lived a blacksmith named Finn, a strong and determined man known for his skill with iron and steel. He was always busy, hammering away at his forge, shaping tools and mending broken things. One day his young nephew, Ollie, came to visit. Ollie, a boy of 9, was full of curiosity and had a heart that held more questions than answers. As they sat by the forge, Ollie noticed a small feather lying near the anvil, light as air and fluttering with the slightest breeze. "Uncle Finn," Ollie asked, picking up the feather, "what do you think is heavier, this feather or the tools you make?" Finn chuckled. "The tools, of course. Iron is heavy, Ollie. A feather weighs almost nothing." Ollie looked at the feather thoughtfully. But what if a feather could weigh more than iron? Days passed, and Ollie returned to the blacksmith shop every afternoon, helping where he could, and asking questions about life and work. One afternoon, as Finn was hammering away at a stubborn piece of iron, Ollie appeared at the doorway, holding that same feather. "Uncle Finn," Ollie began, a mischievous gleam in his eyes, "today I want you to carry this feather for me." Finn wiped his brow, puzzled. "A feather? That's easy, Ollie. What's the catch?" Ollie grinned. "You can't put it down for the whole day." Finn shrugged. "All right then, easy enough." He tucked the feather into his pocket, barely noticing its presence as he went back to his work. All day long, he lifted heavy tools, pumped the bellows, and forged iron into new shapes. By evening, Finn was exhausted, but hadn't given the feather another thought. "See, Ollie," Finn said, smiling as he sat down to rest. "I carried the feather all day, and it was nothing." The next day, Ollie returned again, holding the same feather. "Uncle Finn, can you carry it for me again today?" With a shrug, Finn agreed, pocketing the feather once more. But this time, as he worked, he found himself thinking about the feather. It was light, yes, but the idea of carrying it, of being responsible for it, began to tug at his mind. As the day wore on, the thought of the feather became heavier, distracting him, pulling his focus away from his tasks. By the third day, when Ollie handed him the feather yet again, Finn hesitated. He couldn't explain it, but something about the act of holding on to the feather day after day was starting to feel like a burden. Finally, on the fourth day, Finn groaned. "Ollie, I don't think I can carry this feather anymore." Ollie raised an eyebrow. "But why, Uncle? It's just a feather." Finn sat down, rubbing his temples. "It may be light, but it feels heavier every day. I didn't notice it at first, but now it's all I can think about." Ollie smiled gently. "That's because sometimes even the smallest things can weigh us down if we hold on to them for too long." Finn smiled, standing up and brushing off his apron. "You're right, Ollie. It's not the feather that's heavy, it's the idea of carrying it." He gently took the feather from Ollie's hand and placed it on the bench. "Sometimes we just need to set things down." The two of them walked away, leaving the feather behind as it fluttered in the breeze. So, a beautiful lesson that we all learnt here is, the weight of our burdens isn't always about how big they are, but how long we carry them. Even the smallest troubles can grow heavy over time if we never set them down. Sometimes it's not the size of the load, but the act of holding on that truly wears us down.